Preparing the live stream. Should be going live any minute now if it's not already live. Good morning, Grand Rising. All right, here we go. No. Let's go over here. We're live now. Okay, guys, apologies. Sincere apologies. All over the place this morning. All right. So we was having a look at this yesterday, Tuesday. This is Breakfast Club. Okay. And we identified that this market is kind of going sideways. It's kind of come tapped in here, tapped in here, tapped in here. Now, we stressed yesterday, we had a large conversation about the timing, about a good time to get into these trades. Now, my bias is bullish. Why is my bias bullish? All right. My bias is bullish because we understand that this market is an overall bearish market. However, we have broken some strong swing daily structure, and we understand after we see that break from here, breaking this level here, how the market could retrace back to 50% of the level. All right, could push back towards 50% of the level before deciding it wants to turn around and continue its journey. All right, have a look at it on a much larger time frame. How that, let me make these lines slightly thicker to let you know these are the larger trend. Okay. And we can see how the market is boom, 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 been trading down within that level, broken some swing structure on a daily time frame. We're anticipating a retracement, potentially 50% into that level. We was anticipating from the start of the week, and it has been, sticking to plan. Okay. But at the moment, when we're having a look at this market has, let's go back small. Let's go small. If you can see in here, on my lines. Get back to Breakfast Club over here. The market started to go sideways a little in this little area here. All right, kind of going sideways. Let's play it forward a little slowly. Kind of just mucking about in here a little piece. All right, boom, green flag. It's a white flag, green flag. This is New York opening. My bearish is bullish of that market to continue pushing up. Okay, I can see this lovely candlestick zone sitting down here. Okay, let's drop that time frame down a bit more. Go to my 5-minute time frame. The market is we've just activated right here. Okay, now at the point when this market, can I scoot back a couple minutes? Scoot back a couple minutes. All right. I have identified some areas of concern, some points of interest. Somebody called them out as I draw them on the screen. What is this? What am I identifying here? What am I identifying? I've drawn it on the screen. It's on the screen now. All right. Imbalance is a big concern. It's a big inefficiency in the market. And I'm very, very interested in this 5-minute imbalance. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm interested in it. Let me drop my time from down to 3-minute. Have a look some more in here. I can see some more little individual areas. So when I see that green flag, have a look at the green flag. Boom, here. I'm thinking to myself that there's going to be some volatility that's going to jump into this market, okay? And it's going to potentially come to fix these inefficiencies, okay? We're watching it. Boom! Woo! Let's go back. All right? So personally, when I saw this market, my bias, can I go back? Doesn't let me go back like that. I was here looking at this market on a small time frame. Even in here, I identified an area of interest in here, which is an even tighter imbalance within the imbalance. And I actually had limit order placed over here with my stops below these lows. Okay. And because yesterday we knew that there was some news that was coming into the markets. All right. We knew there was something. This was a prime example of using fundamentals. Okay. Understanding the fundamentals. Yeah. As well as having my bias, which in my opinion, this market has been just trying to push up and get into that 50% level. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, now I'm thinking it's game time. New York's opened, everyone's there, everyone's activated. I'm thinking it is game time. Taps into my zone beautifully on the 1-minute time frame. and decides it needs to leave. And in 1 minute, yeah, this market pushes up into this level here. Okay. Now, you're thinking to yourself, but Jay, why at this point in time did you decide to take a limit order here, or whatever maybe? Because look, I was in this trade. We're in this trade from the morning. The market is pushing up in here, and we're seeing it's dancing around. We understand why it's dancing around, right? We understand that there's a possibility that because of the new CPI, the market is seeing what's going on. But I said yesterday in a session, I believe news only takes price where it wants to go, but faster. Okay, so when I saw this imbalance here, sitting wide open, yeah, before or just after the New York session open, I'm expecting this wants to go down there, fix the inefficiencies, and leave. This was my entry over here, okay, and this market, and my stop was actually a bit below this level, just in case I decided to want to capture a little bit of liquidity below here. And this market pushed, and went absolutely berserk yesterday because of CPI. Now, like I said to you, this is not me just trading the market based upon fundamentals. My bias has been bullish. My bias is that this market wants to push up to this 50% level. Have a look at it. Look at it. Even after that big push, let me tell you something what novice traders did. I'm going to tell you right now what novice traders did. After this big push up here, boom, novice traders wanting to sell it. Because they think to themselves, yeah, it has to come and close the imbalance. Doesn't have to do anything. It wants to get to its destination. Its destination, in my opinion, is up at this 50% level, which I don't even think is quite got there yet. Let's have a look. Have a look at the market. It didn't come back. And I continue to buy it. I continue to buy it. Let me show you how I was able to continue to buy it. Because that volatility of the CPI data has passed now. I'm not expecting another 1 minute candle like this. But have a look at the market structure. When did it give me any reason to get out? When did it break structure and break structure again? When? Never. So even, I'm telling you guys, because I tell you, I used to be this novice trader, that after this big push up here, I was doing this. And I'm sure you guys have experienced these. Like, yeah, must come and, retrace and tap back into this level here. Why? Why must it? The energy is bullish. Our bias is that we want it to get up to this 50% level, and it's not showing us on the 1 minute time frame any reason to get out. So I not only bought it, it wasn't like I just got in this impulse and I got all excited and just took the money. No, I stayed in there. I stayed in there. Yeah, until for me, I started seeing that the market was breaking some minor structure. I didn't need to stay in there any longer. Have a look. Even here, look, the market pushed down here. Look at the swing structure. Did it break it? Nope. Went sideways for a little bit. I actually think I took another position here, if I can remember correctly, as it closed back above here. Okay, let's have a look. All right. Now, for me personally, I believe I may have closed the position here. I may have closed out my position here. And even me doing that, it still continues to go up because my bias is that this market still wants to go up over here. Let's have a look. Still going. It's going sideways a little bit in here. Have a look. It's going sideways a little bit in here. But then we've seen it. But these little small candles is getting me a bit concerned. All these little small little candles. Yeah. These little small little tiny candles is like, it's getting me a little concerned. I remember I'm up in good profits. I must have closed one of the positions already because I showed you guys it at a certain time. All right. So actually tell you I didn't show it closed. I showed it open, I believe. All right. But have a look. Let's have a look where we are right now. Just play things forward. Remember, we've had our bias from the start of the week, how we was interested in this market getting up towards the 50% level. Look at that 50% level. Look at it. It's just there smirking. Now, that 50% level is a line at the moment, but ultimately it is a zone. It's a range. Okay, let me get out the 1 minute time frame. It's taking it forever. All right. Have a look how we're creeping, ever creeping towards that area. Okay. I'm watching it. This is all in the morning now. This is Tuesday morning. All right. And this is now London session. All right. So what do I think about at the moment? Well, I'm still thinking to myself that it wants to have a little push up further up into this area. All right. Now we have come in here and closed a little bit of imbalance here on the 4-hour. And maybe that's what his whole journey was about. Maybe that's what his whole journey was about. I'm looking over here at this little area over here, a 4-hour imbalance. And I'm thinking to myself, the market could push. It's either two scenarios. Either now we've hit its destination. This is the 50% stop. Because remember, this green line is not a line. It's an area of interest. Okay? It's not a line. People get very, very carried away with these lines. It's an area of interest. The 50% level. It's not for millimeter when it touches this line. All right. So I'm looking at this right now. And in my opinion, this market has done everything that I thought it was going to do all the way from down here at the start of the week. Okay. From over here. Imagine we was down here. And from the start of the week, I was like, I think it's coming up here. And we are now up here. Do you understand what I'm saying? We was able to take some nice trades on the Monday and on the Tuesday, a very huge impulse because of news. But going towards where it wants to go anyway. Now, in this area, what am I going to be looking for? I am going to be looking for opportunities to see if this market's breaking structure for the sell. But I cannot be hasty with it. I've got to make sure that I have got some confirmations that this market is going to do something. Now, at the moment, it's a little bit difficult because structurally, there's very little structure to be seen in this huge impulse that happened yesterday. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing this market doing this, was previously doing that. I'm going to pull out a top end looking like that. Okay. So potentially we're in here in this little level. Maybe I'd like to see another little push up in here and then some structure being broken. And then I am in this for the sells. Now, if it doesn't do that and just keeps pushing up and melting through that level, then I'm going to have to reassess and think to myself, maybe this market wants to buy up and it wants to continue pushing up to a higher level. Okay, it wants to continue pushing up to a different point of interest. And there's lots of points of interest. I'm on a 4-hour time frame. There's lots of potential areas where we can see, have a look, where this market might want to be coming back and retracing to. I've identified this one in here, this imbalance, this strong push from here. There was a previous strong push here, but this market came and kind of filled it. This market didn't really fill this strong push here, hence the reason why I've identified it. Didn't really fill, this little wick back didn't really fill this strong push here. Okay. And then, like I said to you, we could continue to identify some potential other points of interest. This is the 4-hour time frame I'm looking at. All right. But I'm not really anticipating this market going all the way up here. I want it to do what it needs to do. And sorry, this is the one I've missed. The one that we're in right now. All right. It's a little area that we're in right now. Okay. Let me not make it green. Let me just make it kind of like a gray imbalance color. Okay. This kind of area in here at the moment. Yeah, that the market may be turning around right now. Now, I cannot just hit the button. I have to be able to see some sort of confirmation that structure is being broken. And like I said, it's a little bit difficult because of how quickly this happened. All right, so on an hour time frame, I can't really see structure. It's there. The structure is here. Yeah, and then it's here. Okay, so we see we've broken this little last little bit of minor structure in here, made a retracement, and we have closed down below. Potentially, this market's going to roll over right now. I don't know. Okay, have a look on the 15-minute time frame so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, below here was that bigger structure. Below here was that previous structure. The market's broken there. If you want to put some extra now 15-minute levels in here, here's a little 15-minute level. It is breaking some minor structure on the 15-minute time frame, and maybe that could be a reason for us to get in here and say we want to get in for the sell. I am a little bit hesitant, so it didn't quite get back into that little 50% area, and maybe what might be occurring right now is something like this. And therefore, what could that be, guys? What could be happening right now? Let's see if your trading candlestick formation patterns brain is on. What could be happening right now? What type of flag? Bullish or bearish?
Bullish.
Yeah, it could be.
Definitely a bullish flag pattern.
Could be. It could be this is the pole. This is a little flag happening. And then everyone's thinking, yeah, it's rolling over now because everyone can see all this imbalance in here. And everyone's getting excited, licking their lips, putting their big positions on, thinking to themselves, yeah, we're going to come and close all that imbalance right now. And I'm a little bit concerned that the market might be, doing that to do this, to then do this. Yeah. And then when it does that, now I'm going to be ready. But I'm just hoping that when it does that, it actually does it like this. Have a look. Does that. I'm hoping that when it does this, it kind of does it like this with some structure in here. All right. It doesn't just do it like a missile, which I doubt it will. Because then I'll be able to see structure break in here. And I'll be like, yeah, it's looking good. I'm in. And I'm going to hell. And I'm continuing to go to hell. Like all the way past these previous levels. All the way past start of the week. Yeah. Targeting these equal lows over here. Let me make that a nice, my blue color normally represents TPs. All right. Targeting equal lows and just going to hell. Yeah. That is what I'm waiting. That's what I'm a bit concerned of right now. I think it's sucking people in right now as it ever so slightly pushes down. As it slowly pushes down. Let me get rid of all the scribble. All right. Because the scribble never looks good on camera. All right. Getting rid of all this scribble. I think I'm concerned about it. Now, I may be wrong. And we just might see that thing just decide to go like that and come and close this massive. Have a look. This is another thing it could do. It could still want to go up to that 50% level, but before it does it might want to do this first. Close up that massive imbalance that happened yesterday and then go back up in here. All right. And then that would be a potential missed opportunity for this sell. So that's my only concern at the moment. That is my concern at the moment, that this market could say, you know what, boom, let's go back in here, close this imbalance, really keep them on their toes, and then come back up here. That might happen at the end of the week. That might happen next week. Who knows? Might not be ready to roll over and to start breaking structure to the downside. Might be still playing around in this energy here. So, piece of me doesn't want to miss this, especially as I want to be bearish in here for the sell. But I'm just a bit concerned by the way this is flagging down a little bit. I'm concerned. This may happen or this is going to happen. Two different options, A or B. I'm going to label them. All right. I mean, I've taken a good trade yesterday. I've put some profits away. I don't want to just give it away stabbing in the dark. But what I may do is I may take some lower risk positions that are still going to benefit me if this market falls down here to hell. Okay. But I'm not going to be going in there full tilt. Okay. Because this flag scenario is definitely a concern. All right. Sometimes you see when it looks too obvious. Yeah. When it looks too big, be concerned. All right. So right now, this market's pushed all the way down here, tapped into a 15-minute candlestick zone. Is that going to be the wall to turn it around here? Is that going to be the wall to turn it around and push it, get it bullish again? One thing I'll tell you is this. What I'm going to do today, just like yesterday when we saw I was able to catch this, is I'm going to wait for my white flag. Okay? Because you can take trades before the white flag and you can make money in these GU pairs or US 30 or JER 30. Obviously, that's European market. But let me tell you something. See, when you start getting straight over to these major pairs dictated by the USD, US 30s, NAS, GU, these type of pairs, this is action time. When that white flag appears, it's action time. So what we may see is before action time, we may see this tap in here and this flag pattern start. This is what I'd like to see. Let me make my prediction right now because it is being recorded so everyone can play it back. I'd like to see before at 1 o'clock UK time, I'd like to see this market start to push up into this level and this flag, playing out. And then when it gets into this level and the flag, and we get our white flag for 1 o'clock, then I'd like to see it start to break structure, maybe tapping into an area, pushing back to tap into an area to start making some bearish energy. That's kind of what I'd like to see. Now, it might not decide to do that. It might want to do that today. It might want to not want to do it in a flurry. Let's have a look at the news. Let's have a look at the news. Have a look at the news.
News in UK inflation was at 7 a.m. Jay. It came down from 6.7 to 4.6. That will have a bearing on the GB, Great British Pound today.
Okay.
That's why that's why when you said about the bullish flag pattern, the kind of traders are thinking, do we sell to close the imbalance, or do we, because of the good news, because the FTSE's up, so I've just got a feeling that the the pound's gonna be strong today.
There you go. That's coming in. See, when I get that support and I get that vibe and from Alan as well, for my concerns or for my biases, So I'm thinking to myself, I think I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I don't want to get involved in this as it trickles down and trickles all the way back up and trickles down and trickles all the way back up in here and it trickles down. Nah, I'm not interested. All right. I'm going to wait, I think, to around, 12:30, start having a look at what's going on UK time and having a look, because have a look at what time the action, what time did the party start yesterday? The party started at 1:30, boom, rock and roll, 1:30 UK time. I identified this area previously, which was an imbalance and a candlestick zone. And I was bullish anyway. And we was on the bottom of this. Look at the confluences. I don't think I really stressed the confluences before why I got into that trade. All right. Have a look. We was on this trend line that I drew here. This was providing the floor of what the market's been doing as we was taking some good trades and things was trickling up from Monday. All right. Look, boom, lovely Monday. Lovely push that we got in Monday. And then the market, have a look at this, in Asian session, goes to sleep, consolidates. Yeah. And then Tuesday from the morning, we saw a nice little push up into here. But then the market, as there was news coming out, decided to consolidate. And I'm looking at it consolidating. We're at the bottom of this line. Yes, this market could have pushed down here first to do a liquidity grab. Could have. Okay. However, for me, this was a low risk, higher probability trade on the basis that on a smaller time frame, I can see a candlestick zone, bullish candlestick zone here. All right. If we was to look at this market, that I'm saying it's consolidating, but it was making slightly higher highs and higher lows. So therefore, this was a retracement back into a level here. I'm going to show you on a smaller time frame because you can't see it as much. So I really want to stress and emphasize why I took the trade, okay? If I go down to my 5-minute time frame over here, and try and get back over here. So this market was pushing down into this area here, which in my opinion was like just kind of consolidating. But the point when it made this push to break outside of the trend line up in here, and now we're just about getting to that white flag for us to get busy. This area of interest where we pushed and we broke this smaller structure. Let me even drop down further just so you can understand what I mean. Because remember, the markets are fractal. The markets do the same thing over and 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 over again. Okay. So as we can see here, this previously making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. This previously was area of structure in here. So when this market came and closed this imbalance with my stop below this low, I was confident. Tap me in, boom, and then we left, boom. And very quickly, I was able to make this trade risk-free because it got to like a 1-to-1, 1-to-2 level very, very quickly. Okay. And I understood that was propelled by the news. I'm not trying to say this would have done this massive. Let me see how big this candle was. It's not going to sound massive, but for GU, it's massive. Like massive 80 candle in one sitting. Like, this is the news propelled this. Yeah. And then I stayed in this trade because I traded market structure. If I saw this break structure here, I would have been out. I'm not giving back this money, tell you that much. I would have been out. So I stayed in and traded it. You can do the same. You have to be present for that. Can't, just let it do its own thing. But as soon as you start seeing that market breaking structure and breaking again, which for me was about over here, I think, where I saw the market made a little kind of break and a smaller break here. I got out. Even though the market continues to push up, but it is what it is. You can't take everything off the boat. All right. And to be honest, I didn't want to be involved in this trickling around for the whole day when I've got those profits on the table before I just sneeze and look away. And before you know it, some big, massive bearish candle comes out from nowhere and erases those profits. Since then, this market has been, for all purposes, going sideways. Going sideways. All right. In here, been making some little sideways, little push in here. You know, and like I said to you, if you look in it closely, it might be making a bit of a bearish. I'm just not convinced. I just don't want to get involved. Right, not yet. Not until I see it breaking some stuff. And for me, I've just identified an area that I'd like to see it at least violate, which is this 15-minute candlestick zone, a level here. If this market comes and busts up down here, well, maybe I'll be looking for some retracement to try and see if I could get in maybe for the sub. Maybe. But I still think I really think this is going to happen first. I don't know. I definitely don't know. And if you start seeing it coming down, you'll be like, oh, Jay, damn, we missed out on this massive bearish push today because of the news. But it's because of this news why all of these questions and why the sophistication is coming into this area. It's because of this. News gives the market an excuse to do a madness. It's that all season, it just plays 1-2s. Normal passes, plays down the line. But when the news comes out, whoo, market starts doing step overs. Yeah? Starts doing Maradonas. Starts doing tricks. This is why right now I'm looking at this. I'm like, there's all these options of these tricks that this market can do. This market could decide to come down here and bust this up first before going up here. This market can go up in here very quickly. Tap into that 50% level and start breaking structures to start coming down. Or it might do it slowly, just trickling up, trickling up, trickling up. We've identified some other areas. It might trickle all the way up into here, and then we see a quickly wick up in here. Close this little imbalance, wick, and then start coming down. You see how complex it's getting now, and it's going to have an excuse of doing all those things because of the news. The news is going to give it an excuse to do a madness, and plus everybody's thinking, what about all this imbalance, man? It's got to come down here and close this imbalance. Well, in my opinion, that's the obvious thing. All right? And I'm like too long in the tooth for me to just be thinking to myself that right now it's going to come and do the obvious thing straight away. It will do it, but after it does, a Hadouken, up and down, left, right, and center, maybe pushing up into a different zone, and then decided to do it. It will do it. Can't leave this inefficiency sitting there forever. But it's not going to be just the obvious. I don't believe so. Okay? Because the obvious is too easy. All right? So right now, I'm letting you know, going to watch this, but I'm really going to wait to see where we are when this white flag appears. If you want to know how you get this little white flag, how you get this little line up, it's in your indicators. As I mentioned, it's called kill zones. You click on it. When you click on it, it's going to look a little bit different because it's going to show you the actual whole sessions. In fact, in here, it should be showing me the whole sessions, but for some reason it's not. Oh, I know. I faded it out in the styles. Okay, I took them out. So it can show you the actual whole sessions can be highlighted, which I don't need. It starts making my charts look mad. I don't need the whole sessions. Yeah. But if you want to see the whole session, then you put these on. And in the style, this would be on as defaults. Can you see how the whole screen's like being painted now? Yeah, showing you the session, Asian session running over here to this is now the London session. There's a small overlap. Yeah, and then you see the London session go to the New York session over here. And then there's this overlap, you see? So if you want, you can put it on like that. I don't like it because it's just a little bit too hard on my eyes. I just want to see when there's, because obviously sometimes when you're, just timing wise, you want to know, like I know now it's London session. This yellow lines here. I know that this red session here is an Asian session. It's like this is Asian session. Yeah, up until here. London session is going to go up until whenever it may be. And then we'll see New York. So that's why I use it sometimes, not all the time because it goes mad. But I like to put it on. But I'm going to be waiting for that white line. Historically, I've seen that's white lines where the party's at. White lines where that volume turns up. White line is when New York opens and there's still London in there and they're overlapping and everyone's going mad hitting the button. Okay? So like I said, I'm going to be waiting to see where we are at that point in time so that I can get in and out the markets as quickly as possible. I really don't want to be involved in this market just trickling around. like looking at my trade and it's I'm up $100 and then look back at it again 3 hours later I'm up $104. I'm not interested in that. All right. So this was, like I said to you, it was good. It was good that happened yesterday, because I'm telling you, the reason why I activated here and I placed because when I said I placed a limit order, I didn't place that limit order hours and hours and hours before. No, I placed that limit order once this white line turned up and I analyzed what's going on. I was like, this is a very interesting area. Boom, place my limit order in here, that imbalance, so my stop below here, manage my risk, is what it is. It could have been some slippage that could have occurred because I think it could have occurred. I could have had some slippage. In fact, I'm lying. I didn't place a limit order. This was market execution. I executed this manually. All right. I execute this manually. All right. There was another limit order I had placed previously. I executed this manually. When I saw a wick in here and I saw the reaction of the wick, I entered with my stop here very quickly, because my bias was bullish. It was at the bottom of a range, and I believed that the price wanted to take this market to where it wanted to go to anyway. All right. So I apologize. It was a manual execution on that trade, but I was here for it. I was here at the right time. When was that time? That time was when the volume came into the market. Let me tell you something. That white line appeared. Have a look. But the market didn't do nothing straight away. So I didn't do anything straight away. Have a look. That white line appeared, man. I'm watching it. Look. It's 1 o'clock here. Market didn't do anything. Man was still getting to the desk. How's the kids? You all right? Yeah. How's going? How was your night? Yeah, the great night. Went down to, to Spearmint Rhinos. It was great. And then I saw this and I identified how this market here was going sideways. And should we bring up our list again? What happens after when I say small consolidation before it wants to go and do something? What's the next step, if you can remember, after that small consolidation on that list that I look for?
Liquidity grab.
Liquidity grab. So when I saw this happen, what am I anticipating that as? I'm anticipating as a liquidity grab. That's how I'm feeling about it, especially into that area of imbalance. So yeah, this is coming into picture now, because I really wanted to. This wasn't a session I prepared earlier. I wanted to really give you guys the reasons of why I got involved in it. Look, prior to this session opening, bearing in mind there's news coming out. So why is it consolidating just here when there's news coming out? Because it's building up all of the liquidity either side. Yeah, everyone knows that news was coming out. It's building up the liquidity, going left, right, up, down, up, down, up, down. When I see this big spike happen, boom, liquidity grab. It's on my list. It's on our list. Yeah? It's on our list. I'm going to put up our list again and I'm going to print it out. Okay? Boom. I saw that liquidity grab. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was in there like swimwear. Because I thought when we got down to this lower level, worst case scenario, even at a very small level, a very small risk amount, the lot size could be very big. Yeah, because from down into these levels to here, there's only a handful of pips, 5, 4, maybe less with your spread. And I jumped in. Okay. Right now, like I said, guys, I'm not going to be in a rush. I'm just not in a rush right now to get in. Even though the market is actually breaking down. I'm not going to lie to you. The market is breaking down. It's really enticing people in. Have a look at it. It's really enticing, but look how it's doing it. Look, let me get rid of all of these lines. Let me show you how cheeky the market is working at the moment. Breaking down. Let's go sideways for a little bit. Let them think about it. Let's break down a little bit. Let's go sideways for a little bit. Like, it's troublesome. It's misbehaving. And I don't want to get involved at the moment. Yeah, because I actually think to myself that we might see this happen. But we shall see. Keep an eye on it today. We shall see. That news is coming out at 1:30. All right. So I'm going to be at this. I'm going to be at my screen before 1:30, from about 1 o'clock, looking at this thing, thinking to myself, what's going on? I might not be, to be fair, today. But we'll see. Hopefully I am. Hopefully I am. And my bias still is, guys, that maybe we want to have another little push up into this level. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right tomorrow. All right, these sessions are recorded. Let's see if I'm right, if I'm correct tomorrow, to see what's going on. Let's go look at a different pair real quick. All right, go look at a real different pair before we start. Oh, look at the JER 30. Oh my gosh. All right. Now I did have this marked up. I did. Why am I not getting any more data in here? It's strange. I am. It's just that big push. And let's have a look at JERF30. Let's go and mark it up. Let's delete everything off this chart. Let's have a look at it real quickly, and that's how we're going to end up. All right. Just for anybody who doesn't see and know how we mark up charts and understand what's going on, this is how we do it. We look on a much, much larger time frame, and we try to get a picture of what this market's been doing. I believe that this market has been doing this. But Jay, your line went through this bit of. I hear you, but I also know this is COVID-19. This was an anomaly in the market. But I don't disrespect any data points because it still provided a data point. So I'm going to put those lines in there, but I'm also going to put one in like this. All right? I'm also going to put one in like that, pull out a parallel line like that. Why? Because who am I to turn around and just dismiss COVID? All right? I'm not dismissing COVID. It is what it is. Okay? Let's have a look at this market. We're going to drop down to our daily time frame, which is more important to us because we're day traders. And yes, it's great to know what's happened 20 years ago, but we really want to know what's happening recently. The market was pushing up like so. I'm going to give it a different color so we don't get confused. Let's give it a bright blue color. Yeah, let's give it a bright blue color. And then something happened on the daily time frame. The market broke structure, started breaking daily structure. Have a look at the daily structure. It started to break. This is a daily swing low. All right, it got to this daily swing low. It didn't manage to break this daily swing low, but it broke some daily structure in here, some other minor stuff in here. All right, broke all the way down to here. Very interesting. Okay, so when it broke all the way down into here, we're watching it. It's at the bottom of the range, which we're anticipating the market to push back up to the top of the range. But right now, we've seen it's broken above this little bit of structure over here. Now, once again, just like our US 30, our GU, maybe this market's trying to get up to a 50% level, which would be right now, this minute. Maybe this JERF 30 just pushed up into here to get into that 50% level. I don't really know. Because you know, I don't really know. But maybe this market came down all the way down here to push back up into this 50% level to start turning around. Either way, let's look at it. Let's not guess. Let's try and read what's going on. So at the moment, this market is sitting in a 50% level area of this bigger push down here. Okay, we've already identified, have a look, that this is an overall. Let me put some bigger lines in here. Whether it's this line or this line or this line or this line, we've identified that this market is bullish. Yeah, it's bullish in this direction. Okay, it's bullish in this direction. We can also see some, there was some liquidity above here that was taken. Understand why I've got these crazy lines in there. One's taking into consideration COVID and one's not taking into consideration COVID. All right, so I'm going to fade that one out. That's the COVID angle that I faded out. Okay, but either way, regardless of that, the market was making higher highs and higher lows, and ever so slightly made a higher high over here. Okay, and it came down in the hand. It hasn't violated this swing structure. Okay, but it violated some other structure that we can see in here. Maybe like so. If I do this, get rid of this one. All right. It did violate some other little structure in here, broke down below, and it was making lower lows, lower highs on the daily time frame. But now it's just wicked above this little level over here. Concerning. So the question is right now, is this market now going to turn, is trying to push up a little bit higher than this 50% level? Is it going to come up in here and do something else? I really don't know, because maybe it's not finished making its push up into these higher levels. Yeah, maybe this push down here was a retracement into 50% level of this larger impulse. Let's have a check. This is how we do our analysis. I'm going to look at that. All the way up to this high over here. This is the 50% level over here. Hasn't quite got down here. It hasn't quite got down here with this larger impulse. But it's sitting in that other level of this impulse to continue coming down. And we may be seeing it turning around right now. So my concerns are, even though we just wicked above here, maybe just to grab some liquidity to close an imbalance. I can see a daily imbalance in there. Have a look. And it's tapping into a daily candlestick zone. Have a look. Daily imbalance in here. If I was to show you it, it would be in here. Some little imbalance in here. Double click that. Label it imbalance. And then just above that, we can see a beautiful bearish candlestick zone here. So maybe it's just playing silly buggers because of the news, because it's got reason to do it now. Turns into messy. It's doing step overs that it wants to tap into. Remember, that 50% area is not a line. It's an area of interest. It's not an exact science to the millimeter. So I'm still thinking to myself, boy, even though we've just wicked above this little level over here, yeah, that maybe this market is going to turn around in here and continue doing something down. Yeah. At best case scenario, or worst case scenario, I should say, that this market may come and close all of this inefficiency in here, imbalance to this level, all right, before deciding what it wants to do. Either way, from here to here is a huge distance. It's a great trade. Yeah, 400 pips. Okay, so I'd be watching this again, just like all the other markets that are going to be victim to this news and what's going on right now. I'll be like, boy, let's drop our time frame down to 4 hours, have a look. I'll be like, boy, I really need to see this market show me some confirmations, show me something. Have a look, I'm putting in some more lines. I'm going to put in this line like so. I'm going to make it a color like so. We brighten it up a little piece. Okay, and this is the top end. I'll be thinking to myself, are we trying to get to this top end right now in here and then decide to start breaking down? I don't know. I don't know. I am concerned the fact that it came and wicked above this little level here. This is the little high point of this trend. But I can see I saw some imbalances below, and I saw some reasons why I might just want to wick above there before doing something else. So like I said, I wouldn't be in a rush to get involved until I can see some real confirmations. So for example, I can't buy this right now, in my opinion, from the top of this range. I want to see at the bottom of this range and ultimately come in and close in some imbalances before I buy it. So buying it right now is not even on the cards for me personally. Yeah, I'd like to see it breaking some structure bearishly, and maybe I can get involved in this as it comes down here and closes this imbalance, and maybe continues and goes to hell along with US 30, which I believe, or GU, which I believe, kind of mimics US 30 as well. Might be doing the same thing. All right, so I'm going to be patiently waiting and seeing what I think this market may or may not do. Have a look at it. Let's zoom in. Let's understand the different cycles of the market. Look how it pushed up in here, and then it started to go sideways. Yeah, started to go sideways in here. Just kind of mucking about, trickling a little piece. Like I said, I'm not in a hurry to come and get them. Yes, we've broken above it for now. We definitely have. Definitely have broken outside of that level. Boom. Broken up into the areas of points of interest that I marked out. Yeah. Into this candlestick zone right now that I marked out. Into this imbalance level. Look. Wherever it was that I marked out. Or past this imbalance level into this candlestick zone level right now. So here is the time right now that I'm thinking to myself, maybe, I'm more safe thinking to myself, maybe this market wants to turn around. I'm not going to lie to you. All right. If it does turn around, at least I'll be taking it from near the top of this range. All right. That blue range that you can see that isn't broken, near the top of this range. Yeah. Yes, it would be a retracement trade until it starts breaking outside of that bigger range. But have a look at this here. Let me make this a different color, orange. Yeah, we might see this market push up in here a bit deeper from the bottom of this range up here, and then start breaking structure up in here. All right. Again, I really think I'm going to wait for after 1 o'clock. I know this is the European market, but I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to see what happens when that little white line turns up, and then I'll be able to make a decision of whether or not to get into a trade, because the market is bullish right now. Look, making higher highs, higher lows. If I go to my 5-minute time frame or 50-minute time frame, it's making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. It's still bullish. All right. But I'm saying I'm looking for an excuse, some confirmations for it to start getting bearish. But if the US market opens and I haven't got those confirmations, but I've got confirmations of areas that it may want to tap into go bullish, then I'm trading today if I want to trade today, and I could be able to take advantage of that setup for today. All right. For today might be pushing up in here for 100 pips, higher up into this level in here. This is still that big candlestick zone I identified. Let's try and see if we can see a smaller candlestick zone in that level. Let's try and see if we can pinpoint and knuckle that level down, because I never put what time frame that candlestick zone was on, which was terrible. I think it was the daily. I think it was the daily. See, this is why you should always label it. I've been getting a bit lazy recently. Yeah, see, it's a daily candlestick zone here. So let's label it, all right? So that I don't have to guess. Daily candlestick zone. Let's go and drop our time frame down on a 4-hour. Let's kind of have a look to see if we've got anything happening inside that candlestick zone on a 4-hour time frame. We've got this little, I don't really like this little gap in here. It's not a gap because the wicks did come and close it. I'm just going to show you something. I'm going to keep that highlighted. Let's have a look at it on a smaller time frame to see if we can see anything happening. It's just another little kind of area in here. Let's make it a color. Let's drop our time frame down to an hour, see what's happening within that big old daily candlestick zone, because it's massive. A daily candlestick zone is huge. We're trying to whittle it down now, see what's going on. Now what can we see in there? You can see fantastic imbalance in here. Fantastic bit of imbalance. I'm going to label it again so I don't have to remember what it is. Imbalance. 1 hour imbalance. Absolutely amazing imbalance in here. I'm going to drop my time frame down to my 15 minutes. I'm going to see if I can get as much detail as possible. Not going too low. 15 minutes, 5 minutes is probably the lowest I'm going to go down at this point, this stage. Okay. But I'm just understanding that today we've got some serious news that's going to be happening. Serious. That may move the markets. So inside this 1 hour imbalance, I can see a little candlestick zone here. I can see a little candlestick zone within that 1 hour imbalance. But also, in that little area of concern that I highlighted, can you see that little area of concern a bit above? Give me a second. Let me just identify this one and mark it. In that little area of concern that I highlighted, this green area, look at that lovely, lovely candlestick zone up in here, which ultimately was the level from the level that structure, that move, that push started from. Yeah, ultimately, that's where that push started from up there. And I'm telling you, this news can give it an excuse to get all the way deep up in there. May even grab some liquidity, a quick wick above here, because we can definitely see that there's potential some liquidity above here. So for me, all of these concerns, all of these complexities means that I am going to be waiting to see where we are prior to market opening. And because look, them bankers want to make money every day. They want to make money every day. You understand? So today when they come into the market, they're going to be doing something today. Maybe that's going to be a push up into these levels. Maybe that's going to be where we happen to be in those levels. Yeah. So I want to wait till they sit down at their desk, look at their order book, and start making some decisions about what it is they want to do. At the moment, this market ultimately does look like we're pushing up into these levels. Breaking structure, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, coming back down to where we broke structure. Potentially, like I said to you, these markets are looking like they're pushing up into these levels. And this is in line with the current trend of it making higher highs and higher lows. Maybe it wants to push up into these levels. Maybe it does. Let me get rid of some of these little squiggles that are just affecting the screen. All right. Let me get rid of some of these other things we don't need. Oops. We need you. We don't need you. That's the 50% level. And we don't need that for now. We don't need that for now because that's been filled. Cool. 1 hour imbalance, 15-minute imbalance. Have I missed something else out? Yeah, I think I've missed some other kind of information out. There's probably smaller, like I said, there's smaller zones in there, but I can't bother to go even further down. All right. But I am just concerned, guys. I'm concerned to see whether it's going to push up in here or not. And I'll be waiting patiently until I get that white flag from my kill zones for the next time it starts and see where we are. Have we already passed here by that white flag? Have we not passed it? Is it the case that we're just tapping in there and I'm seeing structure break now and it's like it's 1 o'clock and I'm thinking to myself, you know what, maybe this is the time that the market's going to decide to turn around. Maybe I could be able to be part of that news today again or not, or decide to stay away. All right. If the volatility is too much, can decide to stop. Because like the same time, it might come up here, want to turn around in here, but wick above and capture this liquidity before deciding to do something. So all of these are concerns. So if I was to see this market come up here and very quickly see a very quick wick up in here to capture liquidity, especially if it's consolidating beforehand, sister already knows what I'm into. See that small consolidation and see a liquidity grab, boy, I'm thinking to myself, this market wants to come down. Okay. So we shall see, guys. And this is just, these last couple sessions is really dedicated to understanding the time, especially when there is news like this. The time of when you're going to be at your charts is very important, because it's when these guys sit down. So it's when these guys sit down on the white line, showing our kill zones, is when, you know, volume gets injected in the markets. And ultimately, we want to be in and out, make our 5 grand yesterday, boom, and then go about our life. We don't really want to be sitting in the traders going backwards and forwards, capturing liquidity. I mean, building up liquidity, maybe starts to break and then decides not to because it's not ready. Don't really want to be involved in that. All of that will make us take more and more trades and get stopped out and do certain things. Let's get in and out. Let's rob the bank. All right. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Anything anyone wants to say? We did run over a little bit, but just letting you know about time. If you're ever concerned about time, think about when New York opens. Obviously, also, if we was trading J30, we know when London opens, that European market is in time. Have a look here. Let's put some kill zones in here. Is a time when potential volume can get injected into the market. All right, is a potential time when volume gets injected into the market. If we drop down to our 5-minute time frame, I'm also going to put on our volume indicator, which is basic volume. Okay, we can see. Let's try and get to some lines. Let's go to not 5 minutes. Go to an hour. You know, we can see in these markets, well, even in these markets, look, we can see some volume coming in after, you know, Asian session, some volume coming in. Normally, these London sessions is a bit of volume coming in, but nothing like the overlap. When New York starts popping, look, when New York starts popping here, boom, look at the volume coming in. New York starts popping, boom, look at the volume start coming. New York starts popping, boom. Look, they have a little time where they're just chilling, you know, sitting around. Yeah, and then boom, we've seen this volume coming in. Yeah, we're seeing this volume coming in. All right. So we have to understand the times of when it is that we're going to go sit in the market. Look, GU is going to be a bit more obvious. That one was a little ugly. Let's go to GU. I'm also going to put in this volume indicator. Let's go volume. And we can see we're looking for those white. Look at the white lines. Look, white lines, and boom. White lines. An hour later, boom. I think this is when the market was turning around, so it's a little bit slower. Yeah, but we'd be able to. Let me go to an hour. Let's go to my hours. Easier. Yeah, look where those white lines are. See, every time you see the white line, you're seeing spikes in volume. White line spikes in volume. White line spikes in volume. White line spikes in volume. Yeah, yellow line, New London open. You're also getting some spikes and some volume, but not like this New York time. So, like I said to you, this point I'm only making is understanding a good time to be in front of the markets. Yesterday was absolute textbook reason why. Okay. All right. That's about it. So sorry for the distracting session, guys. In the morning, I was pitching to you guys for a good 10 minutes without it being on. So my outlook for today for GU is this. Yeah. I actually think it's going to do A first, or do A. All right. But I don't know what's happening and what's going to happen with the news and give it an excuse to come and do something mad. It might come and do B very, very quickly. Either way, I don't want to get involved right now. It's trying to entice people in my opinion, coming down like this, entice people in that we're going lower and lower and lower. And I just don't want to get involved too hasty. Okay, I don't want to be too hasty in getting involved. If I was to put in a little trend line in there right now, coming from up here, maybe tapping in here, you know, maybe right now it's breaking that structure and going to start pushing up above some of these little levels after tapping into this 15-minute candlestick zone. And then we're going to see that push up. I don't know. Let's watch it. As I see it happening in the day, I will report to you guys and say this is what's happening. But I'm just a bit hesitant, as you should be, of just thinking to yourself that right now immediately it's going to come and close up this massive imbalance. It is going to do it, and everybody's looking at it. This is like, everyone's looking at their lips like, But let me tell you something. I've seen, especially in US 30, this market do this. Imagine this big imbalance. I've seen the market come down to the imbalance like that. When everyone's thinking, yeah, nothing there, now it's ready to go, and it just do this. I've seen it. Like everyone's putting their life savings in and saying, yeah, we're definitely, there's nothing stopping it now. It's going to come down and close the imbalance, and it's decided to do something else. Yeah, because it knows everybody's doing that. And by doing that, it captures the liquidity. Then later on, it dumps. Yeah. So be cautious of this. All right. Anything anyone wants to say before we finish up? If there's nothing to say, guys, like I said to you, I'm gonna stop this. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna publish this session. We'll see. It was a bit disjointed. I'll try and see if there's any value in it. But I am going